with its newest models, the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer L, which are stretched wheelbase versions of the full-size SUVs, and also the debut vehicles for its new inline six-cylinder engine. I'm Fox News Auto's editor Gary Gastelou, and the Fox Garage is at the New York Auto Show with Jeep CEO Jim Morrison. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
Let me ask you, before we get to the vehicles, back at the show, first time since 2019. Not everybody came back, though. A lot of automakers kind of skipped this one. You're here. How important are these shows to you as a brand and to the consumers?
Well, first of all, we love New York. And second of all, we love auto shows, because where else can you bring, Jeep to its natural environment like we are right here at Camp Jeep in New York. Biggest SUV market in the world, our biggest market, and we're driving around here. And since we were here last, we've got an all-new electrified Wrangler. We have a 392 V8 Wrangler. We have a new Grand Cherokee 3-row. We have a new Grand Cherokee 2-row. We have a new Compass. We even have, for the first time, an electrified Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Grand Cherokee 4xe.
Busy year in one of the most challenging years in the automotive industry with the supply issues. How have you been pulling this off? And Grand Cherokee, I think, had one of its best years ever last year.
It did, yeah, up 30% year over year. And think about it, it just started mid-year. So sky's the limit with Grand Cherokee, because we're able to keep the customers in the Grand Cherokee lineup that needed a 3-row. Now we've got a 3-row for them. We call it L. And for the customers that are looking for electrification, we've got that too. We've got the new Grand Cherokee 4xe, 56 mpge, 25 miles all electric range. But most importantly, it is fun to drive. It does 0 to 60 faster, almost by a second, than the V8. And it will climb up a wall. It's incredibly capable, so you can have your cake and eat it too.
But the big news here in New York, the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer L,
yes,
stretched versions of the full-size SUVs you launched last year. These are as big as they get in the SUV market. Pretty expensive too, but these things are good sellers for you, aren't they?
Yes, we're off to a good start with the new Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer, and the Grand Wagoneers are turning incredibly fast. We're getting new customers into the showrooms, which is great, because
this was a model you didn't have before.
Exactly, it's complete white space for us. And talking about cool, there goes a Wrangler in all electric mode, kind of creeping along behind us. All you can hear is the suspension, you can't even hear the motor. But anyway, yes, it's exciting for us, because customers still needed the bigger Grand Wagoneer. They needed stuff, more space for their stuff, and more space for their people. And we've delivered that. It's 12 inches longer, so it's a full foot longer, but it delivers best-in-class interior, almost everything. So if you need more space, the Grand Wagoneer delivers inside and out. And then, of course, we have the new powertrain, which is an incredible new message too, because a little extra fuel economy, no matter how big the vehicle is, always helps.
You've got the 4xe, 4xe electrified plug-in hybrid powertrains, but you've come out with this new 3-liter twin-turbo inline six. Some other automakers have stopped developing their internal combustion engines. This one's brand new in 2022. I'm guessing it'll be here for a while. 420 horsepower, 510 horsepower, V8 power from the inline six. Why bring out a new internal combustion engine now? You think there's a market for this for the long haul still, even as you go electric?
Well, if you think of the V8s that it, kind of upped with its technology, and bettered with its horsepower and torque. Like you said, 510 horsepower, 500 torque out of a 3-liter. It's incredible, that technology. So the efficiency up 2 miles per gallon, it's still something that our customers are looking for. So obviously, we're going to electrify the Jeep range by 2025. So it'll be a bit of a transition to even offer more powertrains options in the future, for sure.
And that one launching in the big trucks, does it fit in the smaller vehicles? Are we going to see that in other Jeep models, or is it more of a Ram thing that's going to be coming up soon?
But, I don't want to spill the beans for any of the Ram guys, so I'll leave that up to those guys.
It's not here. It's out in Moab, Utah right now, but you've got some concept vehicles for the Easter Jeep Safari.
Yes.
One of them is the Magneto 2.
Yes.
The second all-electric Wrangler concept you've done. More power, more range than the first one we saw. I guess that was last year. How much of a picture of a future production Wrangler are we getting with that? It's got a 6-speed manual transmission. Electric cars aren't supposed to have manual transmissions.
Yes, and the manual transmission is really more about giving us a bit of a test bed to check and test different ranges with this thing. So for me, speaking very openly, you probably won't see a manual. Maybe 2 different options for gearing. We love extra gearing with Jeep, so that could be something that we bring to market. We're certainly investigating it and trying to see, but mostly just driving that thing. It's incredible that 850 pound-feet of torque. You could crawl up a wall with it. It was riding on 40s. It had a lift. It had incredible power and torque, but it was amazing to have that much torque in complete silence. Usually that kind of stuff that people put in their Jeeps because they're modifying to get always more horsepower and torque, as you know, and lifts and tires. So it kind of fit in amongst all the other Wranglers with 40-inch tires and 37-inch tires, in Moab. But what's really interesting is I spent a lot of time driving that while I was there, and it's completely natural for us. It's like we've been doing it all along. So the Wrangler 4xe is off to a really good start. We saw a lot of those out in Moab. People are buying them, wheeling them straight out of the showroom, or lifting them and customizing them. There goes another one. Complete quiet, as it's all you can hear is the suspension and the tires. You don't even hear the motor in it. And that's the difference, is the connection to nature you get in complete quiet, like that 4xe, is what you can feel in the Magneto with even more. I mean, you can unleash the beast all the way up to 850 pound-feet of torque.
You sound a little excited about this.
It was, Gary, it was a blast. This thing will crawl up a wall and make you smile like there's no tomorrow. And like I said, it feels like we've been doing it forever now.
All right, Jim Morrison, best job, most fun job in the auto industry. Thanks for having us here at Camp Jeep.
I think this week also goes with the least amount of sleep, but I'll take it any day long.
To read more about the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer L, head on over to foxnewsautos.com.